Welcome to What Ha Happened, the podcast where we talk about our latest chismes,
or gossip with you non-Spanish speaking folks,
crazy travel stories, hood memoirs, and food and wine.
This is an adult podcast,
so some of our topics may make our listeners a wee bit uncomfortable.
Listener discretion is advised.
And if you're of legal drinking age,
grab a glass of wine
or a beverage of your choice and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Rich.
I'm Lala.
And Lala.
And today we have two very special guests, all the way from Texas. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm August, and
I'm Ashley. August's the mother.
Okay.
How do you guys know each other?
Oh, well, we met on a phone game.
Puzzle game.
A
puzzle game.
Supposedly, and I put air quotes because supposedly it's promoted as a puzzle game, and then you go on, and I'm like, why do I have to create a castle? And and it ends up being a war game.
Oh.
Yeah.
It turned into like a little battle game?
Yeah. Like you have to join alliances and like.
So are you guys on a Discord too or not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
That's how I got into Discord, because of this game.
Ah.
I never had Discord before.
Ashley, so you've been playing this game for a while?
Yeah.
It says my internet is unstable.
Oh my God.
It's so bad.
It's just like me. Unstable.
So, like, I play a lot of games, and, I've been, we have a gaming community, and we're always, like, it's funny because sometimes we'll have meetups, we'll meet people, like, from across the country, whereas, that you would not have met if you weren't not playing a game. And I think that's really cool. So I'm really excited that you guys met that way. Because in a strange way, I've met a lot of people that, as a matter of fact, in a strange way, that's how Lala and I met.
Is that?
Yeah, it's because I met some folks through gaming.
Oh, John.
Through John.
Yeah.
So, it's a strange.
Yeah, he was like, oh man, I have this friend who cooks really good. We usually have cooking parties. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm all about that cooking party.
Yeah, so.
But yes, this is how I met her.
Lala was
and
the
then
reason I stayed in it. So Lala was the reason I stayed in it. Can you hear me?
Lala was the reason you stayed in the game. So you did quit. She's like, you can't leave me. You can't leave me alone. This is too much for me. Don't leave me here all alone.
I was like to. Listen, this was during the pandemic, and I was playing Candy Crush, like, all day long. And I was like, you know what? I keep seeing this ad on Facebook. I want to save this dude, right? I want to get the gems and all that. So I downloaded the game. And all of a sudden, I only got like one puzzle per like keep level. And I was like, this isn't fair. And then I started talking to people because you have to get like to a level 6 to actually talk to people. And the first person I see is Lala, and she's playing salsa music in the main chat. I'm like, oh, I love this woman. And then I start talking to her. She brings me into her alliance, and then I'm hooked. Like, hooked. And it's
you got
been
your
3
tribe.
She left me. My daughter's playing out. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do.
she has my account, so I guess now August is playing. August, are you playing there?
Wow. So you have
I
this
don't really know
account.
how to play games.
So was this a mobile game and then it's a computer game, or is it just a mobile game?
It's a mobile game.
Wow.
Oh, is it both? Well, I never played it on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
You can play on BlueStacks.
I never figured out how to do that, and so I was like, meh.
Well, you know what? The beautiful thing is it's still connecting people with the salsa music and just the game.
Yes,
I think that's
and
wonderful. I apologize. I'm gonna have to turn.
Is that the
alarm.
steak?
That's the tri-tip.
The tri-tip.
Put a tri-tip in the oven. Hold on. We'll get rolling here. We're just getting started.
The reason I wanted to bring them on today is because, well, if you notice behind Rich, he just, my friend painted that for me. And I brought it back from Costa Rica when I went out there. And then it made me think of you guys. And you guys also do a lot of art. And so we wanted to, show you guys off, show your pieces. How did you guys get started, etc., etc. So, yeah. So how did you
Well,
guys
I guess
start?
it kind of started with my grandmother. She's pretty well known. She's her name is Myra Tinsley. She does Myra Tinsley art, and she's brilliant. Just she does a lot of oil paintings, and uh, they're just beautiful. Every single time I would go to her house, you would smell the paint, and like the turpentine from cleaning brushes. And she had this beautiful shed in the back of her house, but it wasn't a shed; it was like a house. And you walk in, and there's stacks and stacks and stacks of paintings. And there would like be 3 on easels, unfinished, and she would literally paint a little on each painting. I was fascinated, and I've always loved art, so I tried to be an artist. I tried to paint, but my skill is in animals, and there's not many people who want your animal painted, right? Well, then I had this one, and it skipped a generation, and she loves to paint. She does clay. She does what's the
painting.
pour painting. You want to show them? This one's my favorite that she did.
Oh my
Wow, you want to
God.
put that closer to the screen here?
Yes, dude. I
Yeah.
love the colors.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Painting that was one of my first
Wow.
books.
She won
What do you
she won an art show with.
what do
Oh,
you
you
call that? What do you
did?
call that? Is there a name for that piece?
She calls it Starry Night because it kind of looks like Starry Night from
Yes, I
she didn't
see
want to
that.
tell
I
me.
was gonna say it's like the solar system. It's pretty
Yeah.
fascinating.
It's like this, is like the surface of a planet with this the sky. Yeah.
This
Oh.
other one I thought was brilliant. I still I couldn't figure out how she did this one, but she's done a couple of these.
Wow.
Oh,
How did you make that? I love the
She circles.
colors.
She circles the paint. It just does this amazing thing.
But how do you do those like patterns?
wait, what is the name of that one?
Lava to me.
How did you make that?
Is that the
Kind of like
magician?
the way I made this one. This is like I put like a bunch of like beef colored paint in like a cup. I put the and then I flipped it over and I let go and I kind of just like did it like this.
Oh my God. Are you serious? Wow.
And then it came
So,
That's
Interesting.
really
Okay.
cool.
and then the
I'm gonna have
big
to I'm gonna have to
one.
try
This is
that.
it's a lot of fun, and she's so. I've tried. I cannot make it look pretty. All my color just falls off the side, and she tries to tell me. She goes, "Mom, just do barely." And I was like, "Baby, I'm just barely doing it. I cannot do it. I don't know why." This is
Oh
this is a
oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Wow.
if
I
you're not person.
Are there 2 people running in that one, or is it my imagination?
It is whatever
Like
you
I
can
said,
see in it.
it's like
That's the beauty of these.
the Rorschach test. It's like, well, what do you see in that? Like I see people running and
So August, quick question. Like what inspires you to paint? Like do you get your inspirations from somewhere or like how do you come up with these ideas?
She told me once that the painting paints itself when she does it. So she just adds the color and lets it take over.
nice.
What? Oh my goodness.
It's the pigments.
You're so wise for your age. And how old are you? You're 10, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I am just blown away. I mean, since the first time your mother showed me paintings of yours, I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, can I buy them all? Literally. I was like, but I like that one. Wow.
Well, her painting, she does clay and all that, but her biggest thing she does right now is she's very big into martial arts, and she's been doing it for a very long time, and that's her, along with painting, but that's her passion. Passion is martial arts.
How did you get into it, August? Or like what? How did you get into the martial arts?
when I was little. I can't remember why I wanted to do it. Didn't you want to put me in it?
Yes, she's very small. She's very small for her age. And even as a baby, we kind of figured, this is a big bad world. And my family and talked to me about getting her into martial arts so she could learn how to defend herself. And because the doctor said she's 30th percentile in height, so she's a short little thing.
Oh,
And
That
anyway,
don't
she
mean
ended up.
anything.
it's little
I
but
know, right? Well,
spicy.
that's why a little bit spicy. Well, I mean,
Dynamite comes in some packages.
it does. That was it. She ended up picking it up very quickly, and then ended up sparring when she started sparring about 6 years old.
Wow,
And
that's really young.
the first time she fought somebody, she took off after. There was
He's my friend right now. It's JoJo.
Mhm.
And yeah.
that she took off, and the little girl was like running away from her, like backing up, trying to defend herself, and she would not stop. And then the teacher was like, "Who is that?" Because her instructor is blind. He teaches
What?
Taekwondo. He can see the peripheral, but he teaches them that even with a disability, you can be great if you're passionate about what you're doing. And so he could see
That?
her in the peripheral, and he said, "Who is this one?" And everyone was like, "It's August." And they said, "Oh, she's a bulldozer. She doesn't let anybody run her over." And so then from that moment on, what's your
Wow.
name?
Dozer.
Dozen. From then
Dozer.
on, she was Dozen.
Dozer. Wow, that's amazing. You
Oh
know,
my goodness.
I do a little martial arts myself. I've practiced in a little bit of judo and jujitsu, and one time in my life, I was because I work in some film production, so in junior college when I went to LACC, and while I was
Me
going,
too.
yeah,
Got
while I
my
was going
A.
there, I helped out with an interview with someone that I'd worked with, and he interviewed a blind judoka. And at this time, I wasn't taking judo; I was just a student. But he was blind, and he was like a black belt in judo, because as soon as he grabbed on, it was his other senses, balance, and everything else that would like get him through his moves.
Oh, that's
And
incredible.
yeah,
I would
so
have never, thought that somebody who has a problem seeing like would be able to, do this. Like
yeah, do you, yeah,
how? Like oh my goodness! Like
yeah.
I guess you
He's
you
incredible.
learn to adapt. Yeah. Oh my God,
Well, it's
that's
a
so
lot of
cool.
it surely is a lot of inspiration, you know. So you're on this journey since 6 years old. Now you're 10. That's 4 years. And what do you see? What do you see yourself like? Are you going to be a action movie star? You know, I know a lot of martial arts experts that they do stunt work. They end up in action movies and they become like either stunt doubles or in front of the camera. Are you a fan of the Power Rangers? Because all the Power Rangers, I mean, they're all martial artists. All of them. Every single one of them is a martial artist. Well, it's a very physical thing. Are you into a lot of sparring, or do you like the forms, or like is there what are the other things that you like about the martial arts that you do?
Well, I like to spar, but my favorite thing is weapons. I do
What it
both sides.
a bow staff? Is that what that
Oh
is?
my God. It's that video that I
Yeah.
showed you. Oh my God. Yes. We're going to have to insert that little clip here.
Yeah, we're gonna show everybody her at
Her
work with
skills. I
her
was
skills.
blown away. I was like, what the? I love that.
When she was little, we had this
Like,
pick her up thing. It's like a long, whenever you're disabled and you pick something up, it's like a big thing. She would take that and she'd be spinning it and doing some crazy stuff with it. I'm like, oh, she's gonna be like one of those flag people. Like, no, no. I was corrected very quickly. She said, no, I'm a ninja. I was like, okay, cool, you're a ninja. The moment they allowed her into weapons, because she had to be a certain belt and a certain age to be part of weapons, she immediately picked it up, and she hasn't stopped since. She's outside my house doing it every single day, and she's actually creating her own.
Yeah.
I completely took over. Go ahead, baby. You talk. Screw you.
Right now I'm creating. Right now I'm creating my own creative product right now, which means like I get to like put together a form by doing stuff that I want.
Oh, so is there it's like a technique of how to move or like how do you make moves?
It's like a set moves, right? Or can you explain that? Can you explain the forms to us? Or
It's like tricks. Like you put like tricks and stripes and like those kind of things into a form. Like a trick would be a horizontal release, and like a stripe would be like a spear.
Oh.
so it's like a dance.
It
She's
is
creating a martial arts dance because it's a set number of things that you do, and it's a set number thing. So they will repeat itself. So if you said you have your August form, you would do it one day, and then they say, "Hey, can you repeat your form again?" You do the exact same thing 2 months later, right?
interesting. I
form.
used to play capoeira, and they also have like sets of kicks and dives and whatever. So yeah, okay,
That would be the
makes
form.
sense. Yeah.
That's a form
Yeah,
for
I did.
capoeira.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think about that.
I think
Okay.
it's different language for different things, like syntax and things.
Mm-hmm.
But like even judo, we have our like I don't know what our forms would be. It would there's things that you do when you start out, for the workout. You roll relentlessly, and you do certain things to get your body, accustomed and limbered
You
up.
roll?
Yeah, you roll. You throw yourself and you roll. You roll. You roll. It's like you do tumbling. Like
Oh, okay.
forward tumble. I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm like,
You'd have to see it to kind
Yeah,
of
I'm like,
understand. But after a while, you get a little dizzy. But that's what we do
oh my goodness.
for warm up.
Interesting.
She has forms that she does regular. So she just did she mastered Wanyo. I'm not sure if that's in uh um it might just be a Taekwondo thing.
Yeah,
But Wanyo,
Taekwondo. The Taekwondo is a Korean thing, and it is it's basically they have their own like every Taekwondo, karate, jujitsu. Every style has its own form. So that style is has its own forms. So I would imagine that they're fun. I think I took Taekwondo when I was a kid, and I remember doing forms. From what I remember, yeah, we did a lot of forms. So that was
I think
That's
I
a
took
lot.
karate.
But
But
now I know gold belt, my gold form, my orange belt form, my one yellow.
Want to show me your belt?
so how
Don't let
you
her kick
been?
you, Lala. I've been great, working and working and working.
Really? Are you still at that new place that you had gotten? Yeah. Nice.
I went from a debt collector to assisting sales of radiation detection equipment. So my life was changed significantly.
Oh my
wait,
god.
radiation detection systems. Wow.
Where do you
Yeah,
need
where we do a lot.
radiation systems?
Wherever you have a nuclear power plant, I would imagine. That's actually
Oh, that makes sense. Duh.
yeah. Or
We actually have
Obvious.
we have one thing that's really cool I've been able to play with. It's I'm not going to say the name. I'm not trying to do anything, but there's a device that we can use, and it has like a sonar. And if it's for police and for first responders, because if there's a bomb somewhere or if there's radiation output, usually you can get a reading, but you don't know where it's coming from. So this device actually has like a sonar. It actually takes you right to where the source is coming from. So
oh
as accurate as finding something from the driver's side to the passenger side glove box. It can pinpoint it. Just the funnest
Oh
thing
my
I've ever played with. I was like, this is so much fun. Give me something radioactive,
oh my stars. Well, they use a lot of radioactive things in like the pharmaceutical business too. I forget what it is. My brother works in the pharmaceutical business, and he was telling me that sometimes they use certain types of radiated things to, I don't know,
Oh, I was
separations and
just
things.
in radiology on Friday. But I was getting an ultrasound of my lady parts. Making sure that there's no cysts.
Well, that's, you see the nurses wear those badges, the dosimetry badges, and that monitors the amount of radiation that nurse is getting, because you can only get a certain amount before you have to be away from it. So those badges make sure that you're not getting too much radiation at a certain amount of time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that I know. I'm like, whoa, this is like stuff I never even thought about. Like, it's amazing. So fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, I was reading. Oh, wow. That's your belt?
So which level belt is this?
So this is high grade, which means this is white, gold, orange, green. This is my fifth belt.
Wow.
Oh, this is the fifth belt. Oh my God. How many more belts are there?
Would you say like purple, then brown, black?
Well, there's a lot more in Taekwondo. She's got quite a few more belts than me.
7 more belts, including my.
Wow.
Wow. And what is the color of the highest?
Black.
Black.
And the highest degree of black is a 10th degree. My instructor is 7th degree.
Wow.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I think in judo or there was only ever like white, brown, and black. And then when you get your brown belt, there's levels of brown, like degrees of brown before you get your black belt.
Like the stripes? Yeah. Is there like, y'all put the stripes on the belt? Yeah.
Well, we don't put the stripes on the belt, but it's just like.
Oh, for capoeira, well, it depends on which school you go to, but you start off as a green belt. And that's all I got.
They tell you, she's green.
I'm green.
She's green.
I'm beginner level. Well, then, because like I went to the, to go get your belt, and they also have like all these other classes too, you can sign up for. And that's when I signed up for Samba. And then I was like, ooh, I think I'm going to do this instead.
I like this form of dancing. I'm not having anybody kick my head.
My face. So then I just switched over. Do you guys get injured?
No, we have gears. We have like a sparring gear on. Sometimes we get hurt, but yeah, one of my friends, Crosby, I was sparring him because we're the same height and basically around the same height. And whenever we were, the instructor was telling us something while sparring, and he was facing towards the instructor, I was facing towards the instructor, and he was in front of me. So I was getting like in a stance, waiting for him to turn around so he could kick off.
Wow.
Well, the one video I sent you, Lala, is she kind of chameleons. So she's I think I told you she also works with special needs. She volunteers to help teach the special needs kids in her class Taekwondo. And so what they really focus on is like balance and answering questions. And we've got children with Down syndrome and autistic, and one that has a brain injury that causes developmental delays. And what she does is she's there and she's letting them basically shadow her, and if they're having trouble, she guides them. And that's one of the things she loves so much, is being able to work with those students. So she gives an hour each week. She goes up there 5 days a week, and one of those days she devotes to the special needs kids. And so
oh wow,
she loves teaching. She loves teaching it. I
was going somewhere. Goodness.
I lost track. What was I saying? ADHD brain. So sorry, it's gone. It'll come back around in about an hour.
It happens to the best of us.
Dude,
I think all of us.
Yeah, like if you've heard our podcast, we go on like tangents and then we forget about. I'm like, wait, where were we talking about?
I don't even know how we got this far, because we go back and forth, and I'm like, wait a second, let's get back on the subject here.
We had to start to like do like notes and stuff, because I'm like, oh my god, dude, we went off track, like boom. And then when we have to edit it, it's like you have to listen to it for like, oh my god, dude, we really went off.
We really went off track.
That's my life. I remembered it. I'm going to say it before it gets out of my head again. The reason I was going with that is she's very, very careful with other students, even the ones that don't have disabilities. But she chameleons, so if somebody's hitting her hard, she will level up her to show them, hey, you're hurting me, you're being too rough. I'm going to show you what that feels like. But every once in a while, somebody will be overly hard, and she'll warn them. She'll tell them, that's, watch your power. Because, again, she's small, and if they don't watch their power,
she'll let them have it.
her
She
power,
turns
they're
into
gonna laugh.
the dozer.
Oh, dozer.
That was that second video I sent you, Lala, was her reacting to being hit several times too hard. She goes, that's it.
Oh my God. Dude, that is so impressive that that you have this much dedication, and especially that you like teaching other students. And I mean, to me, that's so like, wow, like, I mean, at the age of 10, I was not thinking about
I certainly wasn't thinking about teaching anybody anything, or
Okay.
even having the wherewithal to
okay.
share anything. I don't know.
I don't even know what I would teach. I don't know how to wash dishes. I don't know. I didn't have any skills.
Hey,
I mean, I still don't,
great.
but
The washing dishes skills.
uh-oh.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
He was doing it at 10.
Dude, I don't know why. As a kid, seriously, when I was her age, I used to love washing dishes because I like playing with the soap and the bubbles.
she's
That's
a
where
silly
my mind
bubbles kinda gal.
I was a much simpler person.
It all makes sense now. Bubble baths,
Bubbles.
bubbles.
I
Yes.
love taking my baths.
It all makes sense.
It makes so much sense. So yeah, that's
She was happening right.
that's what my mental capacity was at the age of 10. So I don't know. I'm really impressed by August. The reason I wanted to bring her on is because, well, I met her through her mom, and she like, I was so blown away, and I was like, what? How in the world? And like, I met you like several years ago, right? So maybe like 3 years ago. We're all ringing. My phone's ringing. His phone's ringing. But yeah, no, ever since like you spoke to me about her, and I was just like, wow, like that is one powerful person. I was so fascinated by both of you actually, and like your paintings, and like, wow, like that is amazing. How is it that your grandma started painting?
My grandmother actually started out with magazines. She would actually draw clothing and stuff like that, like fashion, right? And so she started out with kind of like somebody would tell her that they wanted to put something on a magazine or in a anything printed, and she would actually draw them and paint them this beautiful drawing. It wasn't like a painting, but I think it started out when she was real little. She always was able to manipulate paint really, really well, and kind of see the things that she wanted to create. And it just kind of blew up from there. Some of the stuff that she's done, I wish I had one of her paintings that I could show y'all. Baby, they're huge, and I can't pull it down.
It's kind of small.
The one over there is small.
I mean,
We can.
you can always send us some images. and
links,
we can,
yeah.
we can.
I'll send you
post
images.
links
That's
or-
better. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And we
that's her
can-
whole life. She made her life selling paintings. Like she had a website. She had art shows. Her whole life was painting. Her whole life was art recreating, and she drew us. She painted us when we started being born and little. So she painted a painting of me. There's all my cousins have a painting. My sisters all have been painted. She painted her life, her family. So I tried to paint a person once, and I believe it turned into a demon, so I had to burn it. So I decided painting people wasn't a thing for me.
Painting animals.
And that's why I switched to animals. They're not, I paint dogs.
Oh, what about cats? Do you paint cats?
Never tried a cat. I guess so. Oh, she wants to show
I
you
guess
one
we
online.
can-
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say, can we see one of yours? It's like share and tell.
Yeah. Well, my mom, I mainly paint. People will send me a picture of their dog, or I knew my mom's dogs and stuff like that, so I paint those. And it's just one of those. It's just caricature of your dog, you know.
Oh, that's so
I like that.
cute. I love caricatures. I want to be one too.
You should be a caricature of us.
Yes. Oh my God. It'll be just like me laughing.
How does that? I wish I could do people. I just can't. They always turn really scary. I've tried.
But what if we were animals?
Oh yeah. What is it
could
called?
teach
Anthropomorphized or
You can anthropomorphize. I can't even say it. Anthropomorphize. I see. I can't even say it. You turn us into animals.
Yes. There you go.
I can do that. I think. I
Anthropomorphized.
Yeah,
can do that.
you know.
You know what I mean.
All right, get it over with.
So this is one of our dogs, Rosie, our smallest, and this looks very much like.
Oh my God, that is so precious. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I want my kitty to be painted. Well, I don't have him anymore. He got lost. He ran away from home. But I still have pictures of him. I know. I cried. And then, like, I moved. So I'm like, well, I guess he stayed out in Pomona. I mean, hopefully somebody.
He's living the high life.
He's so cute. I'm just going to say that he's probably somebody took him home.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, look at that little precious little boy. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Wow. I think we got the A and B.
I was like, ah. Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. Dude, I am so in love with that. So, August, question. What is it, where do you see yourself, like, do you see yourself doing something with your art, or like, have you thought, I mean, I know you're only 10, but like, you seem so far much more advanced than
Than a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
What
I
are your
figure,
future
like, what are
plans?
your aspirations? Like, what would you love to do? Yeah, either with your art, or do you want to compete in martial arts? You want to, I don't know if you can go to the Olympics with that, but I think you can. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, just like, what are your dreams for your future? Excuse me.
Well, honestly, I want to do more paintings, and I definitely want to get my just to be black belt. This is probably not too very realistic, but my big goal for martial arts is to become a 10th degree.
That's realistic.
That's realistic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just
if you just
It's a
do it.
degree. That's why.
Yeah, no, it's martial arts. It's a lifelong journey. It's not something you can start and stop, but you can continue. As long as you keep going, it's for the rest of your life.
You know what I wanted to be when I was a kid? I wanted to be Indiana Jones. I think that was my oh my God, I want to be him.
Archaeologist, bug finder.
Well,
auteur.
I wanted to go on adventures and experience crazy things, which I totally did.
You were your own version of Indiana Jones.
Oh my God, no kidding. Indiana
you're Lala Jones.
Lala Jones.
Lala Jones. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an astronaut.
An astronaut?
I love
No, if I can be an astronaut, it's kind of do something that interests things. Because lots of people say that we're the only living things in the universe, and I just don't think that's true. They can't be the only life forms in the universe.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, dude, do you know how much space there is out there, and how many planets, and just we can't be the only one. I'm pretty sure that there's other types of creatures. And I mean, if you look at our creatures, like the undersea water, deep sea fishes, they look like aliens. So I'm I mean, we used to have dinosaurs. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that there's other planets with other weird creatures.
It will eat you or
More-
not, or maybe
More weird creatures like me.
fluffy, cuddly people.
I got her a telescope.
Doesn't work.
I got her a telescope. She doesn't need to get out of the atmosphere to look at stuff.
Santa,
We're
That's
going to talk
nice.
about this later on.
Santa's the one I gave.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's right.
mean, that's
Santa gave us.
fascinating. It's fascinating. Although I do have a telescope, I haven't used it though. It's because it's too much lights. Like I would have to
Los
go.
Angeles, there's so much. You have to get like
Yeah.
100 miles out of here. Before you
Yeah,
get
I would have
where
to
you
go
want
to like the desert to see anything, you know. But I'm still enjoying finally living in LA again because I'm like, oh my god, I was doing such a long commute. I was like, this is crazy. Even though I heard a lot of audiobooks, so it was but still, just the amount of gas that I was spending, it's just too much.
yeah.
Gasoline is pricey, and especially to be going to a job that is just like data entry, nothing special, data entry. Like, I could do data entry at home. That's what I've been looking for, like another job that I can just do from home because that commute is insane. Well, not anymore, but still. But yeah. So how did you get into
I
that
told you
field that you're in now?
it fell in my lap. You know, there was a couple people in my life that didn't like that I was a debt collector. But listen, I was a good debt collector. I wasn't a mean one. I actually worked for one that would litigate against people. So if you didn't pay me, I wouldn't be. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Absolutely, not a problem. And then I'd get in trouble later on because why did I get served? I tried to warn you. But hey, you can still work a deal. But I did that for 10 years. I did it for 10 years. I really enjoyed it. It's better whenever you can treat people like they're actual people. Because then you can build trust. And then, listen, I'm doing my job. I'm going to help you. I save people lots of money. If your car gets repossessed, you owe $15,000. It's not my fault, but I'm going to half that for you. And then you'll still save money and we'll get it off your credit. So people liked me for a long time, but pandemic shut us down.
Wow.
And so we actually opened up another collection agency. And my aunt, beautiful soul that she is, she goes, hey, Ash, if you want, we've got a position open that's remote and we could use somebody with customer service experience. Or, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fine. So I applied for it and went through the interview and I got hired. And I have loved every second of it because now I get to talk to people and none of them cuss me out.
I
None
know.
of them are like against. Just like, hey, how you doing?
I would think that would yeah, because I remember she used to come on and tell us about, her job. And I was like, oh my God, like I would imagine you get like the angry people, because.
Like, why are you taking my shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that quick story about that. I went to rehearsal, one of my rehearsals, and the instructor, shout outs to Terry, I was like, hey, can you give me a ride home? And she was like, yeah, of course. So we're in her car. She's like, oh, let me stop and get gas first. So she and it's me and her sister sitting in there. And then this truck just like literally just comes on up and like hooks the car up and starts to like, to
With
tow
you guys
it.
in it?
Yeah. And I was just like, what the? And we were like, what's going on? She was getting her car repoed.
I don't know if that's funny, but I mean, it's funny that you guys were in the car while they repo and then
Yeah.
not
Well,
like.
what they do is that they lock on first so that you don't take off, and then they let you out. And so then we had to get all this stuff out. And so she's like, well, so much for giving you a ride home. Now we're all stranded. So I had to call my roommate, Lewis. And I was like, so Lewis, Terry's car just got repoed and we're stranded. And I'm like, I'm not too far. Can you pick us up?
Wow.
But I thought that was so
She
hilarious.
must have been hiding for a minute, though. If they were following, she would probably, it was
Yeah.
probably a garage car. Because you can't get into people's garages. I don't know anything about towing. This is I only know that there's people out there that will hide a car until they just get
They put
the towing company's
GPSs
like
on them.
either they're going to lose it or they're going to grab it. So if they're about to lose the chance to repo the car, they'll that kind of sucks though. I'm so sorry. That wasn't me.
But it was so funny because like Terry's sister was sitting in the passenger side and I was sitting in the back, and then suddenly the car just starts to. We're like, what the? I thought it was really funny, but at the moment.
Wow. I'm just kind of imagining that.
Dude, it was so hilarious. Because she's trying to be nice and like trying to give me a ride home because I didn't have a car back then. It was when I had just moved back to the U.S. And so, and then we all end up being stranded like at the gasoline station. She's like, well, so much for putting gas in it.
At least they took it before she put gas in it. That saves money, right?
Yeah, it saves you a little bit of money. Oh boy.
It was so funny. Oh my God. I mean, well, anyway, that was my little story about repo.
That's great.
Oh my God.
That's great.
Do they repo like bicycles? Like they get you off your bike, punch you, take your bike back.
Taking your bicycle.
Oh my God. Sorry. I have a wild imagination. So
They took motorcycles, so that's one thing they do. Motorcycles are easy. They just pick those and put them on the truck and go. I know that because my motorcycle was repossessed way back in the day. I was like, but they told me, they knocked my door. Hey, we got your motorcycle. I was like, oh.
Okay.
How far behind do you have how far behind on payments before like this repossession kicks in?
This was back in 2008. So I think we were, I was like full 3 months behind. You remember the 2008 when the banks collapsed?
The crash, yeah.
All right, that's what happened with us. We lived in Temple. We had just bought a house a year before. We had the motorcycle, and then everybody was getting laid off. And then we were being foreclosed on because we were late on our mortgage because of that as well, and they wouldn't work with us. This was with Wells Fargo back in the day. And so they foreclosed. We lost the motorcycle, the house, and we moved to Midland. And we actually got a settlement, though. They actually, whatever
yeah, because they shouldn't have done that.
Class action. Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually got a settlement. We were proved to be not that far behind to where we were supposed to be foreclosed on. So I mean, literally, I was trying to pay half each month, and I was still actually paying half the mortgage each month, and they still foreclosed.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It gave us the whole rest of our lives. I feel like it was a God thing. It was supposed to happen. It put me on another road that, luckily.
Oh. On the road. Oh my God, you're so cute. I just want to like squeeze your cheeks. Oh my God. How did you guys get that idea? Sorry. I know, right? Like, oh my God. Good thing I'm not there because I would be like, ooh, I want to see. Oh, wow. Is that an elephant?
It's a mouse. Is that a mouse?
It's an elephant, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's an elephant.
I'm like, it's a giant mouse. No, it's an elephant. Because I could see the nose.
It's like a teapot.
Yeah,
actually hollow and
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, how does that like? It looked like it would be like a wind instrument, like
blow into the
like or like bubbles. I want everything.
More bubbles. It'll probably create bubbles.
Oh, you could. Oh my God.
Certainly create bubbles with that.
Yeah.
Well, you probably don't want to eat the bubbles, but yeah. That's so cool. Are you going to paint it or are you? How do you work with clay? Like, do you have to put it in the oven for it to dry, or how does? I remember.
Do you have a kiln?
Yeah. Versus you make what you want to make, you make, and then you like put a pan down, you put foil on top of it, and you put your clay and you spray it with
Pam,
Oh, spam. And then how like the oven? How do you put it? Like to what degree?
so it's this one you put it 250 and it took about 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours. So,
Wow.
and then afterwards you can paint it and then polish it and it's good to go.
Oh, I
She does a
remember
lot of
doing clay things, but I was like so little. I don't remember. I'm like, I think we
Is that
used to
called
put 'em in.
Play-Doh? Was it called
It was
Play-Doh?
not Play-Doh. It was clay. Okay.
Play-Doh.
And we would put like little things and like I don't know, it would make it like jewelry type things. I don't know. I was like, man, I forgot about that. I should start doing stuff like that again.
I used to throw some pots and things like that in high school. There was a ceramics class that I was not allowed to go to, but I talked to the ceramics teacher, and so on my vacation I would go and just like make pottery and
Why weren't you
things.
allowed to?
Oh,
Because we were a year-round school, and so it was not on my track.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So, but I still wanted to do ceramics.
Interesting. We didn't have that. We just had home ec and sewing.
the flower baby.
You gotta learn how to sew.
I'm like, well, that wasn't very fun. I'm like, I already did that at home.
I know how to
Cooking.
sew.
I'm like, well, okay. Oh my goodness. So how's your cooking going?
Wait,
Oh my God, you'll be so proud of me. Listen,
it. It's very happy.
Is she getting
listen.
better?
Here's a backstory. The first thing that I made good was yours. Was the steak, right? And the corn salsa. I make corn salsa all the time now because I'm like, yeah, I'll just bring my corn salsa. Anyways, it took some time, but I finally started to like we're cooking every single night, and she's cooking with me, and like chicken thighs and actual real like sides, and I'm learning. I'm learning, and every once in a while, I'll get on my Snapchat AI and be like, "How do I cook a chicken breast?" And it'll give me the exact directions. But you know what happened the other night? AI's got an attitude because I told it. I said, "Hey, the chicken recipe wasn't very good." He goes, "It's okay. Being a cooking takes a lot of practice. You'll get better." Like it was my
you're
fault
trying to, cause it's
that the
being a smart
recipe.
butt.
Oh my
Anyways, but
god.
yes, I am getting so much better, and it's because of you.
Yes, making a difference. I was telling Rich Mom, I'm like, yeah, she didn't like she literally did like I had to like step by step, like this is the kind of oil you could
I mean, we might do a series of Lala's
Well, I
5-minute
wanted
adventures.
I wanted to do like little short clips of like cooking under 15 minutes or something. And literally cuz like I don't really follow recipes that much. I just kind of open the refrigerator and see what's in there. And then I start to like just mix it all in, chop things up. Oh, I'm gonna add some of this. I'm gonna add some of that, and just like boop 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 boop. And then it actually comes out pretty good. I'm like, oh wow, not bad. But like when people tell me like, oh, you know, what recipes do you? I'm like, I just throw stuff together and hope for the best.
That takes being born that way, though. Here's the deal. I'm over, and people cook me food. Nobody ever said this is how you make that food. They just give it to me in a plate, and I would consume it. And then I got to be an adult and then a mother, and then I found out my family didn't like my cooking, but they were very sweet, and they never told me. They would just eat cereal after cooking. I caught you. Listen, I caught them. I was eating, and I was enjoying my Blaine's chicken. And I look up, and both my husband and my, would you let me talk, please? I know it was dry. I'm getting there. I caught them looking at each other, and my husband going, I was like, do you not like it? I was like, if I don't like it, you don't have to eat it. And of course, August's like, it's fine. I like it, Mom. I like it. And I'm like, and both of them like are trying their best to chew on this chicken. Apparently, I was like, I don't have to eat it, so they pick it up, throw my get cereal. I'm like, y'all should just tell me. And then I talked to Lala, and I was like, Lala, apparently I can't cook, and I couldn't. It was
Yeah. So then I did like a little recipe thing of what to purchase, etc. And then like how to cut it. I even put photos of what it should look like. I was like, man, I really like doing this. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a couple of these and put on our YouTube channel.
yeah, do like little cooking with Lala or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to think of something like
What happened in 15 minutes is you get this great dish.
it's like it just starts off opening my empty refrigerator. Like, damn, what do I have in here to cook? Well, I just wanted to bring it up because I was like, oh, I wonder how she's doing with her cooking. Because I remember she told me this story, right? And we used to chat all the time on Discord. And then I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow. And I'm like, it's so sweet that your family was so nice about it. You guys are so sweet. But I was like, oh my goodness.
Like dessert. You didn't know that they were filling that emptiness inside of them from starving and feeding the food to the dogs.
The dogs must have loved it.
Yeah, they must have.
Oh my God. She's like, don't tell her what we did.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
cooking is like martial arts. It's a long journey. It's a lifelong journey, and you're gonna love what you make sometimes, and sometimes you're not gonna love what you make, and then you just read it. You retweak the recipes, and you kind of like you create your own forms with your food. You create your own recipes. So it's just like a kind of
What's weird? I love like plating it. Like I feel like I'm a gourmet chef, and then I plate it like how you would, like at a fancy restaurant. And it's just like it is just for me. Like but I'm like I want it to look pretty when I eat it. I'm a weirdo.
I love it.
Yeah. Do you like cooking, August? Are you learning?
She's learning now.
Well, I can use the microwave, so I can make meal.
I like that. I'll cook you something. I'm gonna take out 2 pieces of toast.
Oh my God. There was I taught my son to cook like when he was 6 years old because I am not a morning person. And so he would get up and like wanted me to cook him something. And I'm like, let me teach you how to cook. And so I taught him at the age of 6 so that mommy can get some more sleep. And so then the next day, he was the sweetest thing ever. He cooked me breakfast in bed. Like he came in and I was like, oh my God. Like I was like, did you turn off the stove? But it was so sweet. Like, oh, like, I don't know. I thought that was so cute. But yeah, I taught him to cook early because I was too lazy. I'm like, honey, you need to learn how to do your laundry.
Everybody wash your own clothes.
Yeah, he had to wash his own clothes. And his chore was to clean the bathroom. So, he didn't like washing dishes, which I was like totally fine with it.
Somebody new chores we're gonna do.
Oh, am I giving you too many ideas? Oh, August, but don't you love helping your mama? Who works so hard for you? Oh my goodness. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to come on, and like I'm just so impressed with you and your daughter, and like your whole family is so cute. Like I honestly am like, I called her my sister. We were my sisters. I'm like, she's my sister from another mister. But one day I'll come out to Texas and we'll cook together, and you can teach me to fish.
Wow, you fish.
Yeah, she's. Yes, I would be so excited, like into it.
I love fishing.
Yeah, he actually always goes fishing.
Well, we'll go fishing in Texas. We'll go fishing
Yes.
in Texas. That'll be our next show. Like, this is the fish we catch. It'll be the fish we catch and the fish we cook.
Yeah.
And that'll be the show.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm excited.
What happened in Texas was.
What happened was.
So it's great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. And
Well, that's all we have for today, folks. Come back next week for another episode of What Happened.
Okay. Thank you so much. And then we're signing off. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
To follow us, you can go to whathahappened.com for a link to all of our social media and to read our bios.
If you would like us to read your story,
May it be funny or scary or just some hot cheese mix.
please email us at stories@whathahappened.com.